Let's get ready to meditate. Okay. Turn off your phone, please. Blow your nose. Beautiful. We're going to go for 3 rounds of the lion's dance, which we haven't really done it before. Okay, tomorrow we'll do 4, and then you'll be ready for retreat. Okay. Vijambita, lions. Singha Vijambita, and the root is germb, and there's a word in Russian, gromka, gromka, thunder, grom, thunder, okay, comes from Vijambita, okay, ta-da, here we go. It has that feeling. The ancient root has this feeling. Okay, it wasn't really dance. It's lion's roar. Okay, why? Why is it called lion? Remember? I was waiting for the punchline. Yeah, that's not bad. She said, you are scaring away your mental afflictions permanently. Okay. Understand? Really? Okay. So, but that's why it's called. Your desire, your anger, your jealousy is supposed to run away because of your powerful meditation. Okay? Especially obstacles to knowledge, says the text. Obstacles to omniscience. Okay. You ready? Let's go. When you do a lion's dance, you have a choice of timing, and when I'm pretty busy, I'll do maybe, I don't know, 10 breaths on each level. When I have time, I'll do 20 breaths on each level, or 30. So tonight we'll do, I don't know, 10 or something. We'll go pretty fast, because we need to do 3 rounds tonight, okay? So please follow the desire realm, the sound of something in this room. It could be the person next to you who's still moving, or it could be the air conditioner or something like that. Okay. And now please come to your heartbeat. Then the heartbeat from inside the chamber of your heart. Heart beating around you, outside world forgotten. Heartbeat at a distance, tiny, inside the heart. Into the crystal, inside the heart. Expand the mind as broad as an ocean, ripples going out. expand the mind as wide as space, the awareness. Turn off the mind, block thoughts. Turn off the mind and ignore thoughts or feelings. Ask one of your teachers to come. Think of how you first met them, the accidental meeting. What were the events that brought that meeting from each side? And now think how the teacher that you met by accident doesn't exist. The events that brought them to you and the events that brought you to them also don't exist the way you thought. They're all coming from some older seeds. And then go on a trip to your past lives, imaginary. Imagine how you planted those seeds. You can focus on one good quality of your teacher and try to imagine what seeds caused it. What good thing did you do in the past? Have fun, relax. Imagine how you planted this great thing in your life. Come back to the center of your mind. See the silver seeds. Watch one of them open and watch the image of that beautiful quality come out and settle on top of your teacher. Follow a few more seats. Sit for just a moment and appreciate how amazing it is that the beauty you see around you is coming from good things you did for others in the past. Blue sky, good friends, sweet dharma. You made it. It's a nice custom here to bring the teacher, invite them into your heart to guide you during the day, even when you don't remember they're there. Guide your dreams, guide your sleep. Now we'll come back, second round. Imagine turning off your mind and not paying any attention to random thoughts or feelings. Then turning off your mind and fighting any random thoughts, feelings blocking them. Then the mind returning from endless space to the middle of the mind. The ocean ripples coming back to the center of the mind. the crystal sugar. The heart beating at a distance. Sitting inside the chamber of the beating heart. Watching the beating heart. Now round 3, we've never done it before. It's not very long. We'll go back up, straight back up. So, beating heart. Inside the chamber of the heart. Heart at a distance. Crystal. Ocean. space. Turn off the mind, block thoughts. Turn off the mind, let thoughts go. Choose a teacher. Imagine them coming to you to meet you for the first time from someplace else. Now see that the place they came from and the way they came to you in the first moment of your meeting were all coming from your own mind, your own seeds. Three long exhales. Slowly open your eyes. Take a good stretch. I grew up in Phoenix, and I was born in Los Angeles, but we moved to Phoenix, and then I never went to Tucson. And then once a year, my mom started sending us for 2 weeks of tennis camp. And we slept at the university, and we played tennis all day. And we were sore, and everything was bleeding, and that's Diamond Mountain. But when we went home, we beat everybody because we were, we played all day. So it hurts a little bit, but when you go home, you'll be happy. Any questions? That's the third round. We've never done it before, okay? Second round, you go down, but not to the air conditioner. It's a tradition to stop heartbeat. Then you come back up to 9, okay? That's 3. And then tomorrow we're going to do 4. And then that's enough for the week. You can practice it during your personal retreat, okay? Tim.
Thank you for teaching, Geshe. In the first round, you had us focus on the transitions of letting go of the gaksha. Is there a transition like that in the second and third round?
That's a good question. I guess you could say the first and third rounds, the gaksha is the same. right? You are rejecting a less quiet place, and you are seeking a more quiet place. But in the second round, when you're going down, you're actually embracing a noisier place. So you're coming out of the quietest place. You see what I mean? So you're voluntarily going to a noisier place. So technically, if you were going to debate it in the debate ground, I guess you could say that the quieter place becomes a gokcha. And then you go to the noisier place when you're coming down on round number 2, okay? Something else about that. Don't forget, the reason we're going up and down now is to increase your meditation muscle, okay? There's no great purpose to go ocean and then, to go up and down. What's the use of coming out, you see? But it's to show you have control over your mind. I can go noisier if I want. Slightly less quiet. I have such control over my mind that I can come out 1/10 of a level, and I can come out 2/10 of a level, and if I want to skip a level, I can. And you are exercising your focus capacity. You see what I mean? So a lot of the different rounds are just to exercise your mind. And I can think like those different strokes in the pool, backstroke, breaststroke, what do you call this thing? Butterfly. And it all affects different muscles in your body. Then when you raise somebody, you're stronger. You see what I mean? So you're just showing off. Oh, I can come out if I want. I can go back if I want. And I didn't once think about yotel. You see what I mean? I didn't once think about my boyfriend was angry at me last week, or okay. I didn't think about Trump the whole night, like that. You are kind of displaying the power of your mind, and it should get 2 things. I mean, one is more focus, right? But there's also a thing that we're about to reach in the idioms, which is Xinjiang. What's Xinjiang? It feels so good. Your mind is so strong. It's like, I imagine that's how Kendra feels when she does yoga. I wouldn't know. But, like, just feels, Michael's yoga is pretty awesome. Just, you feel really nice when you do it. So there's an element, believe it or not, eventually it will be very enjoyable. People will say, you want to go see a movie, and you say, nah, I think I'd like to do my lion's dance, I didn't do round 3 so much today. And because you're good at it. You'll get good at it, and then it's kind of like eating your favorite dessert or something like that. Okay, other question?
谢谢葛希拉的教授。我有一个问题，就是说，如果佛陀他既然已经是佛陀了，那么在他的世界当中，便只有佛陀，没有其他的存在。那为什么佛陀还要再去帮助别人呢？因为他的世界当中只有佛陀。
Thank you, Geshe. The question is, if Buddha in the Buddha's world, if Buddha they see everyone as a Buddha, and how come he still wants to save others if they are still all the people are Buddhas and they see them are all Buddhas, and like what's the reasons that he has to save them?
Good, yeah. This is an old debate. I like to brag that, so Pabonka Rinpoche, the third one, Pabonka, is from my house in the monastery. So when he did his Geshe, the oldest non-Geshe in the house has to debate him for his Geshe, and that was me. So I asked him this question. I asked Pabonka this question, and it went on for about 2 hours, and it was kind of cool. What we decided, and it's a difficult question, is I can improve my karma until I can improve my seeds until I see you as a Buddha. So, in the definition of Sambhogakaya, the Buddha's body in his own apartment, in his own paradise, the definition is, do you know? The basic definitions. Ngepa nganden. Ngepa nganden. Ngepa. Yeah, the 5 things are always the same. No matter who Buddha, 5 things are always the same. And one of the 5 is he sees all the people around him as a minimum 10th level bodhisattva. Okay? So he never meets anybody who's not a 10th level bodhisattva. Okay? So does he never come to this world if he's always seeing everybody as 10th level bodhisattva? And this is interesting. I can see you as a Buddha if I have good seeds. I can see you as a Buddha, and you don't see yourself as a Buddha. Okay? And I see you don't see yourself as a Buddha. And the person you see who's not a Buddha, I need a pen. The person I see who's not a Buddha, and the person I see who thinks they're not a Buddha, and the Buddha I see are the same person. Okay, got it? So my Lama used to say, are they all gonna retire? And then he taught us this, and he said, no, they don't have to retire. They still have to make those 10th level bodhisattvas into Buddhas, okay? All right. So it's possible for me to see you as a Buddha, and you are. And it's possible that you don't see yourself as a Buddha, and you are not at the same time. Okay? So then I still have work to do. Other question? By the way, I like the question. It doesn't have to be about, tonight let's play a little bit. You don't have to ask a question about lion stance. You can ask whatever you feel like. Okay. Now I have trouble from Myrtle. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe Michael, for teaching.
Bukachi.
I do have a question about lion's dance. When you visualize that your mind expands 2-dimensionally or 3-dimensionally, what I do is I mention, the place where I am, then the continent, then I leave Earth, then I go to the solar system, I see a galaxy, I see a universe. I feel I go through time to the Big Bang, but eventually it becomes a little fussy and I lose my focus because I feel there is no border. Do you continue to expand and try to imagine planets or galaxies or physical stuff? Or what do you see when you let your mind expand infinitely?
Oh yeah, I mean, I like to go to NASA website, really, and I look up Andromeda galaxy, I look up different galaxies. They're all different colors, they're all different. So, if you have time, you can pass one galaxy and then go to the next galaxy. Okay, any galaxy you can imagine is a real one, right? So I just keep going. The point is that you don't stop. The point is not to stop. You're trying to go back in time to the beginning of the Big Bang, which is actually distance, right? That's okay. And according to Buddhism, every Big Bang had a Big Bang before it. So you can hang out in the emptiness before the Big Bang for a few minutes and go to the next Big Bang. Okay? Like that. But it's a good question. Personally, I like to go back to the Big Bang and think about I created it. You see? They say that the whole universe was compressed into a space the size of your thumbnail. Our whole universe in the beginning. was compressed into a super heavy, a super dense mass the size of your fingernail, and then it blew up, and it created our universe. Okay, but if I created the house where my Lama lived when she was younger, and if I created the roads that her mother drove her to my mother's house on Thanksgiving, then I also created the Big Bang. I was around when the Big Bang happened, and I created it. Yeah, I created it. That bang also. Okay, got it? Okay, that's kind of fun to think about, you know. There's no limit to the history that you created. You created the George Washington, and then you created Caesar, then you created Taizong, Tang Chao. Then, you know, you created all of it, okay? It's kind of fun to think about. Any other question?
Geshe, when we first go into the crystal and you shrink and then you're in there, then what do we focus on?
I like to focus on, this is a meditation muscle builder, that you are, sometimes I alternate between being outside and seeing that it's tiny, and then I go inside and it's going to be as big as the Pacific Ocean inside. You see what I mean? Without the crystal getting bigger, between form realm 4 and formless realm 1, that inside of that crystal is going to be as big as the Pacific Ocean. But sometimes if I come out a little bit and watch the crystal, it's a single drop of sugar that someone sprinkled on my heart. So that's a kind of meditation exercise. And by the way, if you ever feel distracted in meditation, like you can't stop thinking about what someone said to you today, then try to shrink the object of meditation, and the focus will come back, okay? And if you feel too tight, expand it like an ocean, okay? You have the power. There's a Jimi Hendrix song, standing next to a mountain, chop it down with the edge of my hand. You know, it's like he's imagining himself much bigger than this mountain, and he's like, dip. And sometimes you can do that. Okay. Mental exercise. Okay. One more, Jenny Wang.
Geshe, thank you so much for your teaching.
Welcome.
I want to ask, when we inside the crystal, you say we have the leg and then span the leg. So the crystal also span together? No?
The leg expand, the crystal is the same size.
Oh, crystal is the same size.
Yeah.
Even in the fifth, also the light span. Also, the crystal is same size and the light span to the infinite.
Yeah, see if you can do it. See if you can do it.
Just feel the
Okay.
inside the crystal. You can.
Fill one piece of sugar with the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, let's go to Lam Rim for a while. We got to tell the fish story. You've heard this story. Well, here's where it comes from. Okay. Then we have to do some pictures. You guys okay to go till 9:30? One more hour, less than an hour. Is that okay? If you have a PP emergency and it's as big as the Pacific, you can go. You can go over there. Okay. You can go to the desire realm. All right. So Adam La, we're at Ngar Mi Tsang Shik, SNGAR, am I? Okay, here we go. Ngar means, once upon a time. Mitsang means a family. Shik. There was a tsang, by the way, means a nest. Like Droktsang is an ants. What do you call it? Ant nest colony. Yeah. So what's a Jatsang? A monk's colony, and that's the Tibetan word for monastery. We don't say gomba. Okay, my monastery is Serme Jatsang. Ant's nest of monks. Ja means monk. So here's Sang. Mitsang means family, okay? Sang also means complete, so you have to be careful. Mitsang Shiki Pagente, the grandfather, or the head of the household, he's maybe 70 years old, right? That's old, okay? 65 is not. You'll know it when you... Pagende, Dr. Kang Gyap. Gyap means behind, like your back is called Gyap. So behind their house, there was a dzing. Dzing means a pond, okay? Kinya, there were fish in that pond. And the old man used to go back and catch them with a fishing pole, okay? Sepa means he used to eat them. He would bring them in the kitchen and they would cook them and he would eat them. Sepa lei, and then, this lei means and then. Ko shine, ko here means he. Shi means died, after he died. De kang gyapi zingtu nyar ke. What's that mean? Nick? Yeah. Yeah. Good. As a nya. Yeah, good. Okay? So he got reborn as a fish in the same pond where he used to catch the fish behind his house. The older man in the family. Made, the older mother of the family, Kimla Chakpe, what? Adam? Good. She was attached to the house. Okay. Mitsang te teke, that same family's teke, ki la ke, ki ru ke. Yeah, she took birth as a dog in the same house. Okay, after she died, she came back as a dog that was living in the house. Okay, Keishing, Chungmala, Chi Chepa. Chi Chepa, you don't know. This is the first time I've ever seen it in a book. And it means to have sex with. Okay? And Chungma means, okay, now we're talking the old man's son, who's maybe 35 or something. So he had a wife, Chungma, and his neighbor had sex with her. Okay? What do you call it? Adultery, right? Then he got angry and he went next door and he killed the guy who had sex with his wife, okay? His neighbor. He killed him. Jasepa Chumala Chape Wang Ki, because that guy was attached to his wife, De Purkye, he was reborn in her womb because he liked her sexually. You see what I mean? Okay? Then he was born as the kid of the 35-year-old son of the old man. Okay? Got it? Ki kene yopale chi pa de pu panyana chi pa de pu panyana kipa de sungne. Later on, the 35-year-old son caught his father on a hook from the pond. Okay? Kete sungne, and then he killed him. Sete. Desha sawete, and he was eating his father's flesh. Okay, he's eating his father's meat, at the kitchen table. Mai Kiewa Kide, and then the mom, the old mom, the grandmother, who was born as a dog, she was trying to grab the bones of the fish off the table. So the son smashed the dog on the head with his fist. Okay? Who's he hitting? His mom. Okay, he's beating his mom on the head because she's trying to eat his father. Okay? That he's eating. Okay? They do what that. Dai kewa chumpate. Bang. This bang without the S means your lap. L-A-P. Okay? Your lap. And while he was hitting his mother and eating his father, he was hugging on his lap the guy who raped his wife. Okay? Okay. Signe. They don't tell the whole story here. I thought they did, but they don't tell the whole story. So anyway, the whole story is the Buddha had two great disciples, Shariputra, Shalizut, and Maudgalyayana, Maudgalyayana. And Maudgalyayana's specialty was miracles. He could fly, he could, do strange things. Then one day he went to this house to ask, with his bowl, to ask for leftovers. And Shariputra was across the street watching. And Maudgalyayana went knock on the door. And the 35-year-old son put down the guy who raped his wife, and set the dish down with his father's bones on it, and pushed the mother out of the way, who became the dog, and came to the door. And Maudgalyayana offered his bowl, and the guy got angry and he said, "Get out of here, go away. I'm not giving you anything. Go get a job," something like that. So then Shariputra, Shalitza, he couldn't take, he was so upset, and he came and he knocked on the door. And the 35-year-old guy came to the door. And he said, "No, not another monk, I'm not giving you any food." And Shariputra says, "Look, I don't want any food, okay? Understand something, I don't want any food. But I think you should know that the guy you just kicked out, Maudgalyayana, has the power to fly to 50 or 60 galaxies for food if he wants to in the next 5 minutes. And he's trying to help you. He's trying to be nice to you. He doesn't need your food. He can go to 10,000 planets and get a nice American breakfast." Okay? And then he walked in the house and he says, "I'll tell you something else." And then he said this poem, the poem that comes here. He said a poem. Shariputra said a poem. Okay. Pasha sashing malatok, sepe draw bang the kur, chung me kyo yi rupa cha, kurwe chilla kemodro. And it says, Pasha sa. Let me tell you something, who doesn't want to feed Maudgalyayana? Okay? You are eating your own father right now. Pasha sashing malatok, and you just punched your mother in the head. Okay? Sepe dao bang dukur, and the baby you're hugging on your lap is the guy who raped your wife last year. Okay? And you killed him, right? Chungme kyoyi rupa cha, and your father's wife is trying to grab your father's meat as a dog. Okay? Korowe chula kemo do. When I look at samsara, I gotta laugh. Okay? Shariputra, kemo do means, this is a crazy place. The place is nuts. This place is nuts. He goes, ha ha ha. Okay? That's Shariputra. Kemo means He laughed out loud. Okay. Dermashe Shedingli. Nagarjuna repeated the story. I think that's where I first heard it, in his letter to a friend, which would be a great book to translate. And I think we'll study it, okay, in the next few Diamond Mountain sessions. We're going to do Nagarjuna. Why don't we do a sampler? Sampler means the chocolate company sells you a box with all different chocolates, and you can sample, check each one. We can do Nagarjuna sampler. So we can read some of Shitting. Suhar Leka, which was Suhard Leka. Leka means letter. Herd means what? Heart. And Su means close. Esu. So it's a letter to a close friend. Suhard. And then the D has to change to L, before L. Suhard Leka. Okay? So, in fact, that book's a very good Lamrim. It's a Lamrim 1,000 years before the Lamrim. Okay? Kind of cool. When I wrote China Love You book, I took the structure from Nagarjuna's Suhar Leka. I stole it. Don't tell anybody. Okay, there must say Shittingle. So that book says, Pani Puni Mani Chumani. Fathers become children. Mothers become wives. Kewo Dargyupa Yangshe need. Enemies become close friends. And the opposite also happens. Korwa Dadna Ngepa Gamachi. There's no guarantees in samsara, okay? There's no guarantees in samsara. So in a small level, there's no guarantees about your life. Your boyfriend can die, the next time you eat together, which happened to one of our students recently. And her boyfriend had no sign of, any serious disease. Or you can get fired. I ate at my mom's 90th birthday party. I had to listen. The lady they put next to me at this huge table wanted to tell me the 20-year story about how she got fired from the job she really liked. And she was a big executive, and she got fired. And after that, she never got a good job for her whole life. You see, who knows? You see, we don't know, okay? And that's all she wanted to talk about 30 years later. It was sad. It was really sad, okay? There's no guarantees, anything. No position, no health, no body, nothing. No guarantees, okay? All right. So the meditation here is meditation number 4 for the 29th retreat of the Gift of Liberation. And the picture is, what is the picture? Because I don't have the pictures. It's number 4. No, huh? Oh, they're eating fish, okay? If you look closely, it's a fillet. It's supposed to be the guy and his wife, okay? That's their father that they are smiling over. Okay? So, and it says on 3 levels there's no certainty, right? 3 levels meaning day to day, in your job, in your relationship, there's no certainty, okay? No guarantees. 2nd level, year to year, there's no certainty. In the Lamrim, they say between who you hate and who you love. Okay? It's very common for spouses to become worst enemies, right? Ex-wives, ex-husbands, okay? 3, over lifetimes, there's no guarantees in your relationship with people. There's a joke in the diamond business. Be nice to people on your way up because you're going to meet them again on your way down. Like if you become vice president of a company, treat treat the workers of other companies with respect, because you might be working for them 2 years later. It happens a lot. Okay, so day to day, year to year, lifetime to lifetime, people's positions are reversed. Be nice to the people who work for you. Treat them with respect. You might be working for them next year. It happens all the time, okay? Don't abuse anybody. Don't say something to other people that you wouldn't want them to say to you on your way down. Okay? It means you have to respect everybody. All right. Rang re danyan sok tak par de ni du ngepa shin che me kya ngepa me. We tend to feel like our friends will always be our friends and our enemies will always be our enemies. But it's constantly switching. There was a guy I hated in the monastery, okay? I'm confessing, kind of. He's from Switzerland. And he was the first Geshe in the world from the West. I was the second. And I remember I was debating in my monastery one night, and there's some Tibetan guys there from the other monastery. And they said, "You are unbelievable. A white guy who can debate like you, you're awesome." You know, I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Then they said, "But that other white guy, he's 10 times better." I'm like, "What?" Then I start to hate this guy, you know. I never met him. Just because of that one sentence, I decided I don't like him. I try to find bad things about him. And then one day I was studying this section, you know, and I said, it's not really good for me to be so jealous, you know. So I said, I'm going to go introduce myself to him. So I found his monastery, I found his house, and I went and I knocked on the door and I said, he said, "Oh, come in, I've heard about you." I said, "Yeah, I heard about you too." And then I sat down and I just said, "You know, man, I'm really jealous of you. Everyone says you're better than me, and can we just be friends?" And he's like, "Yeah, let's be friends." And we became very close friends. We're still very close friends. So you don't know. The guy you don't like the most becomes your best friend in the monastery, like that, okay? You don't know. It happens all the time. Usually you don't like people because they are similar to you. So then it's very possible you become friends, you know, in a day or 2 days. So be careful, okay? Who you're jealous of. Okay. They need ngepa deshin che mo kya ngepa me. Sendi seto semelang nyanda gyurwadang. In a single lifetime, your best friend can become your worst enemy, and vice versa. Dranyen de gyurwa soktan. Chuk ul yang de tok soki kasangi chukpo de tering jambor gyur. And it happens all the time that rich and powerful people fail and become the people that they hated. They become the people who have no money or the people who need help, okay? There was a guy, a diamond dealer in Bombay. I like to tell his story. So I went there to work with him. They had a sister office in Belgium, and his brother headed that office, and he became a prince of Belgium. Because he was so wealthy, they decided to make him a prince, and he was like the biggest part of the Belgian economy. And the other brother, very, very, very powerful man. And I went to work in his office to buy stones with him, and I said, "Do you have a bathroom?" He said, "Yeah, go in there." The whole toilet was gold. The whole toilet, okay, and it had these wings. Then I did my thing, and I tried not to make the gold dirty. And then I came out, I said, "Wow, your whole toilet's gold." He's like, "Yeah, I know." And I asked my friend, he was working there, I said, what's the wings on the toilet? He said, that's for people who want to squat. It's a double toilet, squat toilet, Asia toilet, and American toilet both. He designed it out of gold, you know. You can do either way. Then when his son got married, he rented the Bombay soccer stadium. 60,000 people were invited. They rebuilt the stadium to be like an Indian tent. And on the way to the wedding, on the way to the marriage, we were in a car behind them. They were throwing diamonds out the window in the street. And you want to see people go crazy? You know, poor people sleeping on the street and diamonds are coming down on them. And, it was like crazy. Very powerful man. And then he got a heart attack. And he lost this arm and this leg. And to poop in his own gold toilet, he needs 2 people to help him. You see, this powerful man. And then later, no one wanted to do business with him. He failed. His company went bankrupt. And he had nothing. Okay, so it's true story. It happens, okay? Jay Topa, the money gets stolen by enemies. Kasangachupo, yesterday's rich people are today's beggars. Tongchusu Yupa, this is not a story, you can see it every day. In the news, on the internet, you can see these stories every day. Tongchusu Yupa, nice idiom, Adam. It's something we see every day, Tongchusu. It's not a story, it's something we can see. Yepa, shin kechi la gyuro. These things are changing instant to instant, okay? Nothing's guaranteed, moment by moment, okay? Kim dak pelke ki rabge par sungne, pume chiki rola korwe du. Then he told the story of Srija, which is a famous guy to tell stories about in the Buddha's time. And Gepa Sung, we see his story told pretty extensively. And it talks about a snake that was wrapping itself around the body of a dead woman. Okay, there was a dead woman on the street, and a snake was wrapping itself around the body. Okay, he saw it. This monk saw it. Shing Chenpo Shik Sokcha Mamba Sawa. Then he saw a huge tree, and the leaves and the fruit were being eaten by many strange creatures. Okay, and then he saw Michigla Shinje Gebu Go Nyen. Mindawa Mangbo Dekpa. Shinje Gebu Gonyen Mindawa Mangbo Dekpa. One man with the head of many different Dekpa being struck. I gotta look it up. By many beings with different heads. Head of a horse, head of a cow, head of a goat, like that, okay? Chu Sinki Ru Drom Rigyu Tsam Nimang Dip Tupashik Nam Tomale. Then he saw bones of sea monsters, whales, stacked as high as a mountain, and it blocked the light of the sun. If you stood next to it, these bones, okay? Nam Tomale, so this monk saw them and he asked Maudgalyayana, what is this? What are these things? These are weird stuff. What is all this? Tamboni rangi lula chapa pume chiki kyewadang. The first is a beautiful woman who was attached to her face, her looks, and she died. And she was born as a snake. So the snake is wrapping around her old body. Okay, that's her. Okay. Alright, Nipa Gendungi Shingla Pagme du Chepa. the second tree, which is being eaten by many creatures, is actually the rebirth of a monk who was misusing the lumber at the monastery. Okay. Sambangomba Shikigewa, the person being chomped at by many different kinds of animals, was a hunter. Okay. And Shipani Pelke Rangi Kyewa Ngame Rupayan. And the pile of bones, my dear monk, is your bones from your past life. As big as a mountain and blocking the sun. These are your bones. Each one is from your past lives. Okay? Got it? Deyanga Gyalbo Shigla Lumbo Nanki. Minak Chen Shik Shelche. Should we do that? How much time I got? Half an hour, right? You guys okay for half an hour? Okay. Then you can have a long sleep. Okay, well, pretty long. There was a king who was playing a game of chess. Okay, and his ministers, his assistants, they came to him while he's playing chess. And they said, there's a guy we arrested a guy in the prison. What should we do with him? Okay, then the king was like, what? He's concentrating on the game. Okay. Then he said, Jida Chitu, Gyalbo mi mang sewala yengne. Then the king was concentrating on his next move in the chess game. Sene sewa yengne. Mik mang, by the way, means many eyes. Okay, you listening? Nick? Mik mang. Mik mang means many eyes. But it's the Tibetan word for a checkerboard pattern. Okay? Just so, in case you ever meet it, don't translate it as many eyes. It means a checkerboard pattern. Okay? So he was playing chess. He said, do whatever the law says. Punish him however the law says. Don't ask me. I'm busy. Short away. They can't give me shikse. So they executed the guy. Because that was the part of the code of law. Then when the game of chess was finished, the king said to his assistants, what'd you do with the guy? And they said, we killed him. You said, follow the law, so we executed him. Then the king was sorry that someone was executed because he couldn't stop his game. And then as a result of causing the execution, he was reborn as a sea monster, which is a Tibetan word for either a whale or a crocodile. I'm going for whale. Okay. Namshik na kar gatsor trusingi dripe sombashik lepad nyewana. Then later on, that sea monster grabbed a ship in his mouth, and he was going to kill all the people on the ship. Then the people on the ship who were business guys, merchants, they took refuge out loud. And when the sea monster heard the sound of refuge, he couldn't open his mouth anymore, and he died from hunger. Okay. And then the Nagas, what do you call it in Chinese? I don't know. Long? Not kind of like they stay in the water. Water long. They don't like dead bodies, so they always push them to the beach. You see many dead fish on the beach. In the old days, they thought those chu long, water long, they pushed the dead things out They don't want to make their house dirty. So they push it onto the beach. So they pushed his body to the beach, okay? So if you think about it, this is a king who became a sea monster, okay? And then young Mir Kirpate, later he became a human again, okay? And this is typical in rebirth, okay? Like, you do crazy rebirth. It's all crazy. First he's president of the country, then he's a big fish, you know, and then later he's a human again. It just, everything's mixed up, okay? Just like real life, okay? Okay. Let's stop there, okay? Yes?
In the will of life is no tree. How can it be?
Yeah, good question. Jasmine asked, if you say someone can be born as a tree, then where are you going to put them in the 5 realms in the wheel of life? So generally, my Buddhism professor in college was very worried about this question, and he asked many lamas. So here's the story he got. Generally, in Buddhism, we don't say that trees are alive. Okay, they are. So we say plants don't have a mind. They're not semchen. They're not a living being. But in the West, in America, we say 2 kinds of life: plant life and animal life. Okay. But if you push a High Lama on this question, which I did, they will say the way a tree grows is like the way. Somebody told me they bought some honey yesterday, and they opened it, and it was all hard inside. It made crystals. So it will grow. The crystals will grow, but it's not alive. It's just more crystals growing. Like if you put sugar in water and the water evaporates, you will see sugar, crystals will grow. But the crystals grow, but they're not alive. Then if you push a lama on this question, they will say a plant is similar. It looks like it's life, but it's not. It's just chemicals, like crystals growing, okay? I'm just reporting, okay? But they don't have a mind. It doesn't have a mind, okay? So I think you could say, I would say it's life in the sense that it's growing, but it doesn't have consciousness. It can't think like that. Now, so how can a person be born as a tree? I think it's considered a kind of preta rebirth. So you look like a tree, but you're not a tree. You are like a hungry ghost, but you look like a tree, okay? So that's the traditional answer. Tree is not one of the 5 births, yeah. It's probably a preta who looks like a tree, okay? How's that? All right, let's go to the pictures and then I'll let you go home. What's the 3 ways to become the most popular professor at a college? We saw it on the internet. Know your stuff. Know your subject well. Learn your students' names and send them home early. But we'll see. I'm not guaranteeing anything. Because the Lam Rim said, there's no guarantees. Okay, 19, I think. Let's do like 7 or 8 more. Then we're on schedule. Don't forget while we're doing this is a review for people who want to take the final exam, right, Jasmine, at the end of this week or something? I don't know. They're going to look at 60 pictures. How many you have to identify, that's up to the boss. okay, correctly. Like maybe you just show 10. You see what I mean? So if you're interested to become a Lamrim meditation guide, you've got 3 days to study these 60 pictures, okay? Okay. By the way, well, I can't finish all. We'll see how many I can finish. You're probably going to have about 30 by the time we do retreat. I'll do 30 after the retreat, okay? Something like that. You figure it out. Okay, number 19. Classic problem of meditation number 4. In problem number 3, what happened? Wait, what was the photo? And don't look. Yeah, the wife was like, distracted, and the husband was busy mind and sleepy mind, okay, in the same photo. Now, what's the next problem in meditation?
You don't do anything about it.
Yeah, you detect a problem, but you don't do anything. You say, look, I'm sleepy. Wow, that's interesting. Okay. Wow, I'm thinking about dinner. Well, what's for dessert? Okay, like you just let it go, okay? It's like the 4th formless realm, right? You just put up with it. Then this is what you should be doing. These guys are working at a hospital. Probably somebody's heart stopped, and they are running to do something, okay? So when you see this picture, and Jasmine asks you, what's this picture represent? You're going to say, classic meditation problem number 4. After you detected busy mind or sleepy mind, you don't do anything when you should be running to stop it. Okay? How do you stop? What's the classic method to stop sleepy mind? In Tibetan it's Sengtupa. Think of something you really enjoy. Think of something that's cool. What's the classic Lamrim example of something that's cool? Huh? Nope. Nope. I mean, for this particular meditation problem, very famous solution. Okay, I'll give you a clue. James Brown. I'm so cool I could kiss myself. Yeah, how cool am I? Okay, if you get sleepy or depressed in your meditation and things aren't going well and you feel dull and sleepy, there's like 50 people in this room. You are 1 out of 50 million people who made it to this room, okay? So either you're very crazy or very stupid or you're amazing, okay? The whole funnel, okay, of 1.4 billion Chinese, okay? How many here, like 6 or something? Maybe you're special, like 1 out of 200 million Chinese. You made it here to hear the Lamrim, okay? So when you're meditating, the classic method to deal with sleepiness is to uplift your heart. It's called Sengtupa, uplift yourself. If you want to, think about your favorite dessert or your favorite song, but the most famous thing to do is to think about how goddamn special you are. Okay? Understand? You are one in about 100 million people who have a chance after you die. Okay? You are 1 in 100 million, okay, who have a chance, all right, to do this meditation. You are special. You are off the chart, okay? You're more famous than all those guys, Brad Pitt, Xi Jinping, you know, you're more famous than all of them, really, okay? So then you're like, yeah, okay, and then you're not tired anymore. Okay, got it? What's the classic solution to busy mind? Yeah, think of someone you know who died, someone dear to you who died, okay? And it will bring you down immediately, Okay? If you're thinking about what's for lunch, or you can't stop thinking about your girlfriend or something, think about someone you know who died. And then your mind will go boom, and you can focus, okay? All right. Not doing that is idiom number 19. Meditation problem number 4. You know there's a problem. The smoke alarm is going beep, 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 and you're like, wow, it's going beep, 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 beep. Okay, all right. Okay, do something. Okay, run. All right, idiom 20. When the meditation's going well, which don't worry, it won't happen much. Don't mess with it. Let it go, okay? Don't keep checking, and don't keep questioning it, and don't keep examining it. Ride it. Ride the flow. Learn to ride the flow when it's going good, okay? And that's a skill, okay? Don't overcorrect yourself, okay? When it's good, let it be good. I know some people, they come to me, Geshe, I'm not happy. I said, you have a beautiful partner, you're wealthy, you're studying the highest Dharma in the universe, you're beautiful, what's the problem? Yeah, I'm not happy. When it's going good, let it go good, okay? Enjoy, okay? There's a place, there's a time in Buddhism when you should enjoy the seeds you have earned, okay? Who did all this good stuff? I did, Who created the beautiful people in this room? I did. Did they fly here from China, from Israel, from Germany? No. They're coming from me. All these cool people, So it's like coffee meditation. Enjoy your success, okay? There's a time on your meditation cushion when you should enjoy life, okay? I like to end the day with a nice hot chocolate. And I just sit on the chair and do a coffee meditation for like a half hour and just think about all my cool friends that I have and all the cool things that are happening to me, and okay? Don't always work so hard, okay? Enjoy your life a little bit, okay? You earned it. You made the chocolate, you made the chair, okay? You made the quiet stars. You're pretty cool. Okay. So when it's going well, don't mess with it, okay? Don't try to overanalyze it, okay? Got it? All right, now before he starts the 8 solutions to the 5 problems of meditation, okay? We just finished the 5 classic problems of meditation, right? And before he goes on to the 8 solutions, he makes a note. He says, even in Tibet, 150 years ago, there were people teaching weird meditations that you can't find in any scripture. So either the Buddha forgot, or the Buddha didn't know about, Mr. Know-it-all didn't know about it, okay? Like that. So even 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, people were making up weird meditations, I put this wire on your head, if you see purple color, you're doing good, stuff like that. Just weird stuff, okay? You have access to 200,000 scriptures, okay? If it's not in there, it's probably dumb, okay? And that's exactly what Pabonka said. Here, he said, use the classics, okay? Like today, we used Maitreya, and we used Tsongkhapa, and we used Nagarjuna. Stick with these people, okay? They know what they're doing. Their meditations have lasted for 2,000 years, and many people have achieved Buddhahood from them. So you don't need to do some weird thing, okay? Stick to what's there, okay? That's Pabonka Rinpoche's advice in the Lamrim, okay? There's many, many proper teachings on meditation that come from the great teachers of history. You don't have to worry that you don't have to go to some yoga studio and hear some weird thing that somebody made up yesterday, okay? All right. Beware of lesser or made-up presentation. Lesser means the goal of those meditations is not Buddhahood. If you ask that teacher, why are you teaching me this? I want you to be more calm, while you die. Not just kidding, okay? So check what's the purpose of the meditation and check where they got it from. Those two things, okay? Does it have a high goal of bringing happiness to the whole world? Or is it to make you feel better, after you have eaten something bad? Okay, something like that. What's the goal? Ask the meditation teacher, what's the goal of what you're teaching me? If it's not minimum giving you a better next life, it's not Buddhist. Okay, got it? All right. We got 8 more minutes. Hang in there. Hold that Pacific Ocean. We're going to start the 8 antidotes to the 5 problems. The reason why there's 8 antidotes to only 5 problems is the first problem has 4 parts to the antidote, okay? The first problem of the 5, right, has 4 different antidotes, okay? All 4 are necessary, okay? So what's the first meditation problem? Tell me by the picture. Ooh. What's the picture? Yeah, it's the guy just hanging out. He's looking down like he's lazy, okay? Now, if that's your problem, then you should use the next 4 antidotes, okay? There are 4 parts to the first antidote, okay? Here's the first part of the first antidote. Think about how cool it's going to be when you become a great meditator, okay? I can see the future. I can meet Maitreya. I can see next week's lottery numbers, okay? I can see emptiness directly, okay? Think about how cool your life is going to be. I can watch seeds popping up out of my mind. I can change my reality, everything. I can make my husband wash the dishes. Impossible things, okay? All right? So just think how cool it's going to be, all right? What's the picture?
It's a little girl.
Yeah, it's a little girl. She has a fantasy to be a jet pilot. Okay? How cool it's going to be if she could be up in that plane, okay? John Foley, my friend, Blue Angel, he flew Top Gun. He's Top Gun. He's the real Top Gun. He flew some of those stunts. When he was 6, he went to a Blue Angels show. And he said to his dad, I'm going to do that. Cool? All right. You got to be meditating like that. You watch these great meditators, like, I'm going to be like that. Okay? How cool will it be? Antidote number 1, second part. Okay? I want it. It's cool, I want it. Okay? I'll try to get there. I want to have that bodhisattva experience, okay? I want to do it. I want to see every living being in 5 minutes. That's kind of cool, All right? I want it, all right? Number 24, work hard, okay? The guy's digging a hole. He's working hard, okay? All right? You got to do hard work. You got to sit in that meditation cottage and I had a yoga teacher, David Swenson. Some days you feel like doing yoga. Some days you don't feel at all like doing yoga. Some days you feel like you can fly. Some days you feel like wet cement. Just do it, okay? Forget how you feel. Just do it, okay? Work hard. And if you do, item 25, you get Shinjang, okay? Shinjang means flexible, meditation flexibility, okay? Your mind becomes super powerful, okay? And you can do weird stuff. You can learn complex songs by memory. You can learn foreign languages very easily, okay? And when you sit down on your cushion, it feels like you're eating ice cream. If you like ice cream, okay? All right? So if you work hard, meditation becomes extremely pleasant, okay? And you feel super good when you sit down on your cushion, okay? But it takes hard work. And that takes wanting it. And that takes thinking about how cool it's gonna be, okay? And all of those will prevent you from putting it off till tomorrow. Got it? Cool? Let's do one more, okay? Where was this? It took me a long time to find this picture, which is weird because all of us have had dogs like that. What's the second problem of meditation? You lose the object. So when the object goes away, you know, you have to pull back. It's called Chemba. Chemba means pull back the object. The same word means remember, but it's not so much that. It's you got to go looking for the object and you got to pull it back. What was the object in the problems? A high-heeled shoe. Okay? So you got to go find it and you got to pull it back. And the mind is like a bad dog. Okay? And what's the famous thing they say? This is like Lamrim charades. Okay? What's the famous thing they say when the student complains that their mental state's getting worse and worse? Yeah. The Lamrim answer is, your mind was always a mess, but you never listened to it before. You weren't listening to your mind before. I didn't make your mind worse with the meditation. Your meditation's getting better, and as your meditation improves, you're becoming aware of how messed up your mind is. Got it? It's a common Lamrim complaint by a student who's meditated for the first time for a couple weeks. They'll say, this is not working. And you say, what? My mind's getting worse, more jealous, more angry. They say, no, you are learning to listen to what's there. You are seeing the garbage that's in your mind since you were born. Okay? The meditation is successful. You're starting to see how bad you are. Got it? That's a common Lamrim thing. Okay. So anyway, this lady, she lost the object, right? The mind went off the object, and she's pulling it back. She's pulling the object back. And the mind will fight you. The mind will fight you, okay? I really want to think about what's for lunch. It's important. And I haven't checked my emails either. Then you say, we're not doing that right now, we're meditating. And your mind says, oh, yeah, you're right. Let's go back to the object. But you know we haven't checked the emails yet. And it's just this constant stupid mind. It will repeat itself over and over, like some dumb people, you know. And you tell the mind it's time to come back, and the mind says, oh, yes, you're right, I understand, but we haven't checked our emails. It's like some people you know. Use the 4 steps. What? Use the 4 steps. Geshe, can I have a meeting with you? Okay. What do you want to talk about? Use the 4 steps. Yeah, but use the 4 steps. Do you think I should use the 4 steps? Use the 4 steps. Somebody told me I should buy a tape recorder and put it in my pocket. And I could just relax and say, use the 4 steps. Use the 4 steps. Okay. No, I like meeting with people, don't worry. Okay.